The rain pounded against the windshield as I pulled into the dimly lit Walmart parking lot at 2 a.m., my mind a whirlwind of exhaustion and unspoken secrets. I had driven aimlessly for hours, fleeing the suffocating silence of my family home where my father's latest sermon on traditional values still echoed in my ears. That's when I saw her, Jamie, the night shift cashier with tired eyes and a smile that cut through the fluorescent haze like a lifeline, and in that instant, I knew my carefully constructed life was about to unravel. My name is Remy Thompson, a 28-year-old marketing executive from suburban Chicago, raised in a devout evangelical family where deviation from the norm was not just frowned upon but exorcised like a demon. I had always played the part. Straight-A student, dutiful daughter, engaged to a nice guy named Mark from church. But deep down the truth gnawed at me. A truth I had buried under layers of denial and prayer. That night, as I wandered the empty aisles grabbing random snacks to justify my escape, Jamie's voice pulled me back to reality. "Rough night?" she asked, scanning my items with a knowing glance. Her badge read Jamie Reyes, and her warm, accented tone hinted at a life far removed from my polished world. We talked, or rather, I poured out fragments of my turmoil while she listened, her dark eyes reflecting a quiet understanding. Jamie was 26, a single mom working 2 jobs to support her daughter, Mia. After escaping a toxic marriage in Texas, she had moved to Chicago for a fresh start, but the scars of her past lingered in the way she held herself, strong yet guarded. As the store emptied, our conversation stretched into the break room, where she shared her own battles. Coming out as lesbian in a conservative Latino family, the rejection from her parents, the custody fights laced with homophobic slurs. "They said I'd corrupt Mia," she whispered, her voice cracking. "But I fought and I won." "What's your fight, Remy?" Her words hit like a thunderclap. For the first time I admitted it aloud, to a stranger no less. I know I'm gay, but my family would disown me. My fiancé. God, what am I doing?" Jamie didn't judge. She just nodded, offering a hand that sent an electric jolt through me. That touch was the spark. We exchanged numbers, and as I drove home, the rain blurring the streetlights, I felt alive and terrified. Little did I know, this midnight encounter would ignite a firestorm of emotions, forcing me to confront the chasm between who I was and who I pretended to be. The next few weeks blurred into a secret dance of texts and stolen meetings. Jamie became my confidant, her stories of resilience inspiring me to question my own cage. We met at coffee shops on the outskirts of town, where no one from my circle would spot us. She spoke of her ex-husband's betrayal, how he had used her sexuality against her in court, painting her as unfit. "I lost friends, family," she said one evening, stirring her latte. "But I gained myself. Was it worth it? Every damn day." Her strength was intoxicating, a contrast to my indecision. Mark noticed my distance, attributing it to work stress, but my parents sensed something deeper. During Sunday dinner, my mother probed. "You've been so withdrawn, honey. Is everything okay with Mark?" I forced a smile, but inside guilt twisted like a knife. One night, after a particularly heated argument with Mark about our stalled wedding plans, I texted Jamie in desperation. She invited me over to her small apartment in a working-class neighborhood. Mia was asleep, the place cozy with toys scattered and photos of better days. We sat on the couch, wine in hand, and the barriers crumbled. "I can't keep lying," I confessed, tears streaming. Jamie pulled me close, her embrace a sanctuary. In that moment our lips met, a soft, tentative kiss born of shared vulnerability. It was my first with a woman, and it shattered every illusion. But as passion gave way to reality, Jamie pulled back. "Remy, this could destroy you. Your family. Are you ready for that?" I wasn't. The next morning, panic set in. I ignored her calls, burying myself in work and church activities. My father, Pastor Thompson, announced a new sermon series on family purity, railing against the moral decay of society. His words targeted people like Jamie, and now me. Guilt consumed me. I had betrayed Mark, my faith, everything. Yet thoughts of Jamie haunted me. When she finally cornered me at a park, her eyes pleading. "What are we doing?" I snapped. This was a mistake. "I can't." Her face crumpled and she walked away, leaving me with the weight of my cowardice. That decision would haunt me, setting off a chain of events that exposed every fracture in my life. As weeks turned to months, the void grew. Mark proposed again, publicly at a family gathering, and under pressure I said yes. The engagement party was a facade of joy, but inside I was dying. Jamie had moved on, or so I thought, until I saw her at a community event arm in arm with someone new. Jealousy surged, irrational and fierce. That night I drove to her apartment, banging on the door. "I was wrong," I sobbed when she answered. "I love you." Her expression hardened. Love? Or just rebellion? We argued, voices rising, Mia waking in confusion. Jamie's new friend, Sarah, arrived, escalating the tension. "Get out," Jamie demanded, but I refused, spilling secrets that weren't mine to share. In the heat, I revealed her past custody battle to Sarah. A betrayal born of desperation. Jamie's eyes filled with hurt. "You just destroyed what little trust one had left." As I left, shame burned through me, the price of my impulsiveness. The fallout was swift. Sarah, hurt by the revelation, ended things with Jamie, who blamed me entirely. She blocked my number, cutting me off. Back home, my lies unraveled when Mark found my old texts to Jamie. "Who is she?" he demanded, his face pale. I confessed everything, the kiss, the feelings, the turmoil. He stormed out, calling off the engagement. My parents were next. Mark told them in a fit of rage. "Our daughter is confused," he said, but my father saw it as sin. The confrontation was brutal. "You've brought shame on this family," he thundered. "Choose us or this perversion." My mother wept, begging me to seek healing. I stood my ground for the first time. "This is who I am." They kicked me out that night, disowning me with biblical fury. Homeless and heartbroken, I crashed at a friend's couch, the cost of my truth sinking in. Wandering the streets of Chicago that first night after being disowned felt like stepping into an alternate reality, where every shadow whispered accusations of failure. I had nowhere to go, my savings meager from years of tithing to the church. Desperation led me to a women's shelter, where the intake worker's sympathetic nod only amplified my isolation. "Family issues?" she asked. I nodded, too ashamed to elaborate. Lying on a cot surrounded by strangers' stories of abuse and addiction, I replayed the scene with my parents. My father's red face, quoting Leviticus, my mother's silent tears handing me a suitcase. The price of authenticity was steeper than I imagined, loss of home, security, identity. In the days that followed, I pieced together a fragile existence. A colleague offered her spare room temporarily, and I threw myself into job hunting for stability. But the emotional wreckage was harder to mend. Mark's betrayal stung. He had spread rumors in our social circle, painting me as the villain who deceived him. Friends from church ghosted me, their messages laced with "praying for you," platitudes that felt like daggers. Society's judgment crept in everywhere, from sidelong glances at work to online forums debating lifestyle choices. I attended my first LGBTQ support group, a dimly lit community center where stories mirrored mine. Rejection, self-doubt, resilience. There I met Elena, a therapist who specialized in queer trauma. "Your pain is valid," she said in our first session, "but healing starts with facing the conflicts you've internalized." Jamie's absence loomed largest. My betrayal had severed our bond, and guilt gnawed at me. I drafted apologies, but pride or fear held me back. One evening, scrolling social media, I saw her post a photo with Mia at a park captioned "Stronger Together." It hit like a gut punch. Had I ruined her chance at happiness? Driven by remorse, I showed up at Walmart during her shift. She spotted me from afar, her expression a mix of anger and sorrow. "What do you want, Remy?" she hissed, leading me to the stockroom for privacy. "I'm sorry," I blurted. "I was scared and I hurt you." She crossed her arms. "Hurt? You weaponized my past. That's not love, that's control." Our argument escalated, voices echoing off boxes. "You pushed me away first." I countered. "Because I knew this would happen. Your world imploding, blaming me." Tears flowed as truths surfaced. Her fear of another toxic relationship, my internalized homophobia. We parted unresolved, but a crack had formed in the wall between us. Family pressures mounted. My sister Lisa, the only sibling who hadn't fully cut ties, called secretly. "Dad's sermon this Sunday is about you," without naming names. "He's calling it, the prodigal's fall." Her voice trembled. Mom's a wreck, she's seeing a counselor. The news twisted the knife. I had always been the golden child. Now I was the cautionary tale. Lisa urged reconciliation. Just say you're confused, come back. But that would mean denying myself again. I can't, I replied. This is real. Hanging up, I felt the moral quandary deepen. Was my pursuit of happiness selfish, destroying those I loved? Society's lens amplified it. News stories of divided families over LGBTQ rights, protests clashing with religious rallies. In Chicago, progressive on the surface, undercurrents of bias persisted. Jamie and I crossed paths again at a mutual friend's gathering. A coincidence that felt fated. Tension crackled as we avoided each other, but alcohol loosened tongues. In a quiet corner, she confronted me. Why did you come? I admitted, to see you. To fix this. Her eyes softened momentarily. Fix? You shattered my trust. Yet as we talked, layers peeled back. She revealed her own doubts. After my marriage, I swore off complications. But you make me question everything. We shared vulnerabilities. Her childhood in a strict household where affection was conditional. My upbringing equating love with obedience. The night ended with a tentative hug, a spark reigniting. Let's take it slow, she whispered. But slow was a luxury we couldn't afford. The rekindling brought joy laced with peril. Stolen dates in hidden spots, laughter over Mia's antics. Jamie introduced me as a friend, protective of her daughter. Mia, bright-eyed at 5, warmed to me, her innocence a balm. But shadows loomed. My father reached out via email. We can forgive if you repent. The offer tempted, a lifeline to normalcy. Jamie sensed my wavering. Don't go back, she urged during a late-night call. They'll break you. Her words clashed with my lingering loyalty. In a moment of weakness, I met my parents at a neutral cafe. The reunion was fraught. Hugs mixed with lectures. We've prayed, my mother said. Come home. My father added, leave that lifestyle. I hesitated, the pull of family versus self tearing me. I love her, I confessed. Silence exploded into accusations. Her? A woman with a child? This is delusion. I left, choosing Jamie, but the encounter sowed doubt. Betrayal struck from unexpected quarters. Lisa, torn between loyalties, leaked my location to Mark, who showed up unannounced at my temporary home. I still love you, he pleaded. We can fix this. His persistence turned aggressive when I refused, grabbing my arm. You're throwing everything away for her? A neighbor intervened, but the incident shook me. Jamie, hearing of it, reacted with fury. Your past is endangering us. We fought bitterly. Maybe this is too much, she said. Mia's safety comes first. Her words echoed my fears. Was I dragging her into my chaos? That night alone I questioned every choice. The kiss, the confession, the defiance. The moral ambiguity weighed heavy, right for me, wrong for others. As tensions peaked, a crisis forced confrontation. Mia fell ill with a high fever, landing in the ER. Jamie called me in panic. I rushed over, holding her hand through the wait. Doctors diagnosed a virus, but the scare bonded us deeper. In the hospital quiet, Jamie admitted, I need you, but I'm scared. I promised commitment. Yet external forces conspired. My father's church launched a family restoration campaign, subtly targeting me. Rumors spread affecting Jamie's job. Anonymous complaints about her lifestyle. This is retaliation, she accused. We traced it to Mark, fueled by bitterness. The betrayal ignited our resolve. We filed a report, standing together. But the damage was done. Jamie's boss demoted her, citing distractions. The price? Financial strain, emotional exhaustion. Is this worth it? She asked tearfully. My answer? You are. The demotion hit Jamie hard, turning our budding relationship into a battleground of survival. Bills piled up, and her ex-husband, sensing weakness, petitioned for custody again, citing unstable environment. Court documents arrived like a bomb, accusing Jamie of exposing Mia to immoral influences. Code for our relationship. He's using you against me, Jamie cried, crumpling the papers. I felt responsible, my visibility had drawn fire. We hired a lawyer, dipping into savings, but the stress fractured us. Arguments flared. Your family started this chain, she snapped one night. And you're paying the price, I retorted, guilt-fueling defensiveness. The moral dilemma sharpened. Was loving her justifying the risk to Mia? Society's gaze intensified. At a pride event we attended for support, counter-protesters hurled slurs, their signs echoing my father's sermons. Protect the children, they chanted, eyes on families like ours. Jamie shielded Mia, but the fear lingered. Back home we debated exposure. Maybe we should hide, I suggested. No, Jamie insisted. That's what they want, us erased. Her defiance inspired, but practicality clashed. My job suffered. Colleagues whispered promotions stalled. Diversity is fine, my boss said vaguely. But distractions. The subtle discrimination eroded my confidence, mirroring broader societal biases. Laws protecting LGBTQ rights on paper, but enforcement spotty in conservative pockets. Family rifts deepened. Lisa visited secretly, bearing messages from our parents. They're softening, she claimed. Dad regrets the disownment. Skeptical, I met them at church neutral ground turned ambush. Parishioners stared. My father preached forgiveness, but privately demanded renunciation. End it with her, he urged. For your soul. My mother added. Think of the example you're setting. The pressure cracked my resolve momentarily. Driving away, tears blurred the road. Jamie waited at home, sensing betrayal. Did you cave? She asked sharply. No. I lied at first, then confessed the temptation. Trust wavered. If you're not all in, leave. The fight escalated, words like weapons. I'm sacrificing everything, I yelled. So am I, she countered. We slept apart, the chasm widening. A turning point came during the custody hearing. Jamie's ex, Victor, testified venomously. She's involved with a woman from a scandalous family. Our lawyer countered with character witnesses, including Elena, who spoke of Jamie's stability. I took the stand, voice steady. Jamie's love makes her a better mother. The judge ruled in her favor but warned of scrutiny. Victory was bittersweet. Victor's glare promised more fights. Exhausted, Jamie turned to me. We won because of us. The ordeal forged unity, but scars remained. Mia, overhearing fragments, asked innocently, why do people hate us? Explaining bias to a child broke our hearts, highlighting the societal toll. Rebuilding tested our limits. I sought therapy alone, unpacking internalized shame. Your choices aren't wrong, Elena affirmed, but they have consequences. Jamie joined sessions revealing her own traumas. Abandonment by family after coming out. I built walls, she admitted. You're breaching them. Intimacy grew, not physical but emotional. Shared dreams of a future. Yet, external threats persisted. My father escalated. A public letter in the church newsletter, decrying lost sheep led astray. It went viral locally, drawing media attention. Reporters hounded us. Jamie's workplace became a circus. Quit or be fired, her manager implied. She chose dignity, resigning. Unemployment hit hard. I supported us, straining finances. This is the price, she said grimly. For love. Betrayal reared again from within our circle. Sarah, Jamie's ex-fling, resurfaced with vengeance, leaking private messages to Victor. She never got over me, Jamie explained, but the damage amplified custody fears. We confronted Sarah. Why? I demanded. You hurt me, she spat. Now feel it. The cycle of pain illuminated moral gray areas. Everyone's actions stemmed from hurt, but who was justified? Jamie's response. Forgiveness to break the chain. Let it go. Her maturity shamed me. My impulsiveness had started this. We fortified boundaries but trust frayed. High drama unfolded at a family wedding, Lisa's. Invited reluctantly, I attended alone to avoid scandal. Whispers followed. The black sheep. My father cornered me. Repent or you're dead to us. Heart-pounding, I refused. I'm alive for the first time. He walked away, finality in his step. Jamie, waiting outside, held me as I sobbed. You chose us. But the rejection stung eternally. Society mirrored it. A local bill proposing parental rights targeted queer families. Rallies dividing the city. We joined protests, voices hoarse, fighting for visibility. Mia waved a rainbow flag, her innocence fueling our resolve. Yet exhaustion mounted, the constant battle wearing us thin. As conflicts peaked, a health scare from my mother forced reevaluation. Hospitalized with stress-induced issues she called, "I miss you." Visiting, I faced my father guarding her bed. "No drama," he warned. But Mom whispered, "I was wrong. Love is love." Tears flowed. Partial reconciliation dawned. Dad remained stoic but cracks showed. Jamie encouraged, "Family evolves." The moment humanized him. His fear rooted in loss, not hate. Moral ambiguity blurred. Was forgiveness weakness or strength? We navigated cautiously, boundaries firm. The partial thaw with my mother brought tentative hope, but it unearthed deeper conflicts within me. Visits were awkward. Dad hovering like a sentinel, his silence louder than sermons. "He's trying," Mom insisted, her frail hand in mine. Yet, his church continued anti-LGBTQ rhetoric, a contradiction I challenged. "How can you preach love while condemning me?" I asked one afternoon. His response, "It's not you, it's the sin." The age-old divide frustrated, highlighting societal hypocrisy. Progress in laws, regression in hearts. Jamie supported from afar. "Don't force it. Healing takes time." Her patience contrasted my impatience, teaching me the cost of rushing reconciliation. Custody battles resurfaced when Victor appealed, armed with new evidence from Sarah's leaks. Court became a theater of accusations. Unfit due to unstable relationships. Our lawyer fought back, but the judge's conservative leanings worried us. Mia sensed the tension, clinging to Jamie. "Will Daddy take me?" she asked tearfully. Reassuring her broke us. The ethical weight crushed. Loving Jamie meant risking Mia's stability. "Maybe we should pause," I suggested in desperation. Jamie's eyes flashed hurt. "Pause? That's running." The argument revealed fissures. My fear of loss versus her unyielding commitment. "Choose all or nothing," she demanded. I chose all, but doubt lingered. Societal pressures amplified through media scrutiny. A local news segment on faith versus identity featured my father's church, anonymizing our story but implying tragedy. Comments flooded. Support mixed with vitriol. "Disgusting," one read. "Inspiring," another. The polarization mirrored national debates. Supreme Court rulings on equality clashing with state bans. We became reluctant activists speaking at panels. "Our love isn't a threat," Jamie declared on stage, hand in mine. Applause emboldened, but backlash followed. Threats online, vandalism at our apartment. "This is the price of visibility," Jamie said, boarding windows. Fear tested our bond. I questioned if seclusion was wiser. Internal betrayals compounded. Lisa, pressured by Dad, distanced herself after the wedding. "I can't be in the middle," she texted. Loss of my sister stung, a fresh wound. Jamie's family, long estranged, reached out unexpectedly. Her mother calling from Texas. "I saw you on the news. Mia's growing." Tentative talks ensued, but conditions attached. "Leave that life." Jamie hung up, heartbroken. "They haven't changed." The parallel to my situation deepened empathy, but also resentment. Why couldn't families evolve? Moral quandaries swirled. Forgive unconditionally, or protect oneself? A climactic confrontation brewed when Victor showed up at our door, uninvited. "I want to talk," he claimed, but aggression simmered. "You're corrupting my daughter." Jamie stood firm. "Leave." He lunged verbally, slurs flying. I intervened, calling police. Arrested for harassment, he vowed revenge. The incident galvanized us, but trauma lingered. Therapy intensified, Elena probed. "What are you willing to sacrifice?" "Everything," we realized. Yet, Jamie's demotion led to job loss entirely. Discrimination lawsuit pending, but poverty loomed. I took extra shifts, exhaustion fraying nerves. "Is this sustainable?" I whispered one night. Her answer, silence, heavy with implication. Awakening came through Mia's school project on heroes. She drew us. Mommy and Remy fight bad guys. Innocence pierced defenses, reminding us of stakes. We recommitted, planning a future, moving to a more accepting neighborhood. But Dad's health declined, a heart scare. Mom begged. "Visit." I went, Jamie by my side defiantly. Dad's bedridden state softened him. "I was afraid of losing you." Tears bridged gaps. Not full acceptance but a start. Bring Mia next time, he murmured. The shift humanized the monster in my mind, blurring right and wrong. External resolution neared with the appeal hearing. Evidence of Victor's harassment swayed the judge. Custody affirmed. Celebration was muted. Years of fight exhausted. Society shifted slightly. A local ordinance protecting queer families passed, our advocacy contributing. Yet, personal costs tallied. Lost jobs, fractured ties, emotional scars. Jamie and I reflected on a quiet evening. Was it worth it? Her hand in mine. Yes, because we're free. Freedom came with lingering shadows, as we settled into a modest home in a liberal Chicago suburb, Mia thriving in a new school. But the journey's toll manifested in subtle ways. Nightmares of rejection, anxiety in crowds. Therapy continued, unpacking layers. My internalized guilt, Jamie's trust issues. We've paid dearly, Jamie admitted during a session. But look at us now. Indeed, our bond strengthened through fire. A testament to resilience. Yet societal acceptance remained patchwork. A neighbor's cold shoulder reminded us progress was uneven. Family dynamics evolved slowly. Dad attended a PFL meeting reluctantly, questions tentative. I don't understand, but I love you. Mom baked for Mia, building bridges. Lisa reconnected, apologies flowing. I was scared. Forgiveness wasn't easy. Resentment simmered, but we chose growth. Jamie's family remained distant, a wound she bore stoically. My family's here, she said, hugging Mia and me. The moral trade-off. Loss for gain, pain for authenticity. Betrayals faded but lessons endured. Sarah apologized via letter. I was hurt, I lashed out. We forgave, closing chapters. Victor, humbled by legal defeats, sought co-parenting mediation. For Mia, he conceded. Neutral ground fostered uneasy peace, highlighting that even antagonists had humanity. Society's mirror. Divided but capable of change. As high as peaks were, valleys taught most. A community backlash against the new ordinance tested us. Petitions, debates. We spoke out, voices steady. Love doesn't harm, I argued. Wins came hard-fought, echoing our personal battles. Jamie's new job at a nonprofit for queer families brought purpose. I advanced at work, allies emerging. Mia's questions grew. Why did Grandpa change? Explaining nuance shaped her empathy. In quiet moments we reflected on choices. The midnight meeting, the kiss, the stands taken. Each carried a price, relationships severed, security lost, but self gained. No regrets, Jamie whispered one starlit night. Yet doubts whispered. Had we hurt more than helped? The story culminates in a family gathering, our blended one. Laughter mixed with tears, past conflicts acknowledged. Dad raised a toast. To new beginnings. Imperfect but real. Was the pursuit of personal truth worth the collateral damage to those we loved?